Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Dual-Wielder's Writing Debugging, where I break down writing tips and tactics into bite-sized chunks to help you improve your own writing. In this installment, let's discuss magic systems. Now, note that I'll be referring to these concepts as magic systems, but much of what this consists of also applies to things such as advanced technology or any other system that doesn't exist in our world. So if you're writing sci-fi or similar, this can also apply. So what's the difference between a soft magic system and a hard magic system? You might be saying, magic is magic, right? What does it matter? Well, there are some problems with that line of thinking. Magic or other systems introduce new abilities and scenarios for your characters, and you'll need to think about how these could impact the plot and setting. After all, you don't want to be halfway through writing your story only to realize that there was a completely different and better solution to a problem that your characters just didn't do for no reason. Because your audience will certainly notice that sort of thing. So that brings us to the topic of this video. So let's dive right in. Hard magic systems are when the rules of how the magic work are clearly laid out for the audience. It's very clearly established what it can and can't do. As an example, think about bending in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Bending is an ability that someone has to be born with, and unless you're the avatar, you can only manipulate one element. This ensures that the audience will never question why a firebender never controlled water. The advantage of this system is that the audience knows just what your characters are capable of at all times. They'll never have to stop and question if characters did everything in their power to succeed. The disadvantage of this system is that it can sometimes be difficult to organically integrate the explanation of the rules into the story. Having a character or the narrator go off on a tangent is bad for pacing and can take your audience out of the story. Soft magic systems are the opposite. The rules for how they work aren't explained to any great extent. The advantage of this system is that it can create a sense of wonder for the audience, given that all sorts of things can happen that don't necessarily relate to each other except for them being magic. The downside is that it can seem random if not implemented properly, or cause the audience to wonder why characters didn't try something outside the box to solve their problem. Harry Potter is an example of a soft magic system. We know a few details about how it functions, but it's largely up to the reader's imagination as to its minutiae. Both of these systems have their strengths and weaknesses, and it's up to you to determine which is best for your writing. But these aren't necessarily black and white. Sometimes, the magic system can start off as a soft magic system, but the characters discover more about how it works over time. Or, some rules could be well-defined, while others less so. The Amazing Digital Circus, while not strictly using magic, as it's all within a game world, is an example of this sort of thing. We know that most of the characters within the show are real people who have been trapped inside the game world by putting on a headset. That's one rule that is defined. Kane, the AI that's in charge of keeping everything running though, has immense powers at his disposal. He can create entire settings for the cast to engage with, as well as a populace that can act independently to inhabit them. We don't have concrete information about how he does this, or what his limitations are, so that's a point for a soft magic system. We do know that he can't control the minds of the people trapped in the game though, so that's another rule that is clearly established. He also can't fix those individuals that lose their sanity within the circus and abstract. He can also teleport at will, as well as forcibly transport other characters, and even appears to be able to create settings for himself and Bubble alone. He also seems to be able to expand the housing section of the tent, as there are always enough rooms for new people trapped here. But it's implied that Kane does have limits to his powers, or some kind of rules that he follows, at least to some extent. At the point of this video, the Amazing Digital Circus largely operates on a soft magic system, though this could change if the characters discover more about this setting. So, in short, Really think about how any sort of magic or tech systems would work for your writing, and determine which method is best for your story. Both have their pros and cons, but make sure you don't leave any gaps where plot holes could spring up. But I would like to thank you for watching. Which of these systems do you prefer, and why? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if this video helped you out, leave a like if you're so inclined, and subscribe to see more, and may you all have a weapon in each hand.